Stay tuned for the two promotions at the end of the podcast. Enjoy! Welcome to Artsy, Heartsy, the podcast about art and health. I'm your host, Tamara, and I have much to discuss today. I hope everybody got a chance to enjoy their Thanksgiving weekend. I hope they get to spend time with their favorite people. If not, then maybe hopefully you are able to take some interesting stories from it and make some interesting content in the future. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, despite the fact that Thanksgiving is a holiday based on the premise of coming together and being thankful for all the things we have in life, I don't know if it's in media, but pretty much everywhere, it seems to be like the opposite. We have family members that we cannot stand. They can either be very mean, brutish, passive aggressive, almost like down to the point of bullying, and that can get very tense and upsetting, set you off, and that's going to lead into the segue of the subject of workplace bullying. We all hate bullying of any kind. When we were young, our parents would tell us that ignoring the bullying would make them stop. But as we grew older, we realized that our bullies would up the ante if we ignored them and make it worse. For some, the bullying would continue for years with no rest. Depending on the severity, this can cause long-term psychological problems that would require years of therapy, medication, and healing. Individuals can carry the pain for the rest of their lives, but the messed up part is it was a Tuesday for the bully. They may not even remember or care to remember that it even happened. They can go about their merry day like it never happened. In the media, people usually hate bullies or mean kid characters. We even hate characters who say an insensitive word to the main characters. Think of characters like Sansa Stark being mean to Arya, Jon Snow, and Daenerys Targaryen. People were really upset when Sansa revealed to Tyrion that Jon Snow was the actual rightful heir. People could not handle the fact that she spilled some tea. Half the fandom was really upset when she became Queen of the North. We had characters like Glimmer, Sakura, and Skylar White. I actually don't hate these characters because they're generally good people. However, they're not yes men for the protagonist and often cause conflict, which is why many people hate these characters. They're not 100% ride or die for the protagonist or MCs. They have their own opinions. It may not always be the correct one, but it's there to cause conflict. Also, characters who are straight up meant to be the bully. Characters like Chloe, any Tyler Perry villain who is just straight up villainous. They're almost to a degree that they're cartoony. I don't like those types of characters because they're just meant to be the bad guy. There's no nuance, there's no nothing. But the point is you're meant to hate these characters because they are bullies, they hurt you, they cause psychological damage. And there's a great distinction between characters I just mentioned and the characters, say, Chloe Bourgeois from Ladybug, as well as all the Tyler Perry villains. Think of the husband that cheated on his wife who cheated on his wife for years and then kicked her out of her own home. Stuff like that. It's you are meant to hate those types of characters because they cause so much damage to the main character. One thing the audience loves most is when the bully character gets their comeuppance because it's cathartic. After all, many people have never received their cathartic justice. Most people have experienced some form of bullying at one point. It's weird when I think about it. So many have experienced it, yet nothing has changed. In school, there's a whole month dedicated to anti-bullying, and yet bullying still occurs. I think as human beings, we kind of forget that we can also be bullies as well. You can be bullied, but you can also be a perpetrator of bullying. What you think is funny can be very psychologically damaging to somebody else. I don't think anybody really thinks about it like that. They think, oh, this is funny. This person has a funny nose or something, or this little thing that they can't help, or they smell bad. Things like that we don't think about it when we say the things we do. It's we think it's a funny meme that can be what we think is a funny meme can be hurtful to somebody else. So it's like, we are, like, when we're young, we're not that conscious. We're not that conscious about what we do. We just think it's funny and just laugh about it. As you get older, you hope people will mature and start to treat each other better. But then when you enter the adult world, you soon realize that people can suck even as adults. And they can be and some of them can be bullies, and what's worse, some of them can have authority over you. I believe toxic coworkers and employers can be one of the leading causes to burnout and the adoption of unhealthy coping habits. You love what you do, but they want it done faster than you can get it done, and they expect you to stay longer to finish it with no proper accommodation or compensation. Some bullies make you feel like everything you do is wrong. Some might expect you to do everything they ask, with no natural way of saying no. They may even write you up when you try to say no or try to explain why something can't get done on time. Some will exclude you. We have never understood why bullies do the things they do. Some do it to fit in with the cool kids, some think you wronged them somehow, and some identify you as an easy target and are bored. I'm unsure why our brains work the way they do. Maybe our brains are wired to attack things weaker than us so we can survive. Oh my god, you guys, I think I may have cracked the code. Someone get me a Nobel Prize! And I just realized I have not said anything to help with workplace bullying. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to give you some tips. Hopefully they work. Do not tell coworkers your personal business. You must tell your manager why you can't come to work or have to tell HR that you're getting harassed. Keep the information of your personal life limited to other coworkers. Camaraderie. It's nice to have camaraderie at work, but understand everyone is ultimately looking out for themselves. Sometimes that includes being considered cool by having juicy gossip. Not engage with your toxic coworker or employer's behavior. If they gossip about you, are overly demanding, or gaslight you, document the incident and give it to the proper channels. It's essential to have receipts. Ask questions and get clarification. If your coworker or a manager makes demands, always ask follow-up questions, clarify if you have any other priorities, and ask what takes precedence. Sometimes your manager may not intentionally be trying to be hostile. They may not have the experience. They just may not have the experience or emotional intelligence necessary. Criticism too hard. You will always try to do your best, but you will inevitably. You always try to do your best, but you will inevitably fail. You always try to do your best, but you will inevitably fail. That's a part of life. If your boss reprimands you for it, you may feel bad about it at the moment, but instead of feeling like a failure, don't have to defend yourself, explain what happened, take it as a lesson, and learn from it. If you feel they are threatening you, again, document the incidents. Know your rights. Go to sites like workplacebullying.org or look up workers' rights depending on the state you live in. And remember, HR is not your friend. They work for the company, not for you. Even still, always make sure that you document everything and send it to them, so everything is on record. Do not be accessible 24/7. Those are my tips for helping with workplace bullying. Tune in next time. And now, a word from our sponsor, which is me. I'm sponsoring myself. Are you dealing with things such as weight gain, depression, burnout, or unhealthy coping habits? Or do you have an intense fear of rejection and you want to overcome it? I offer health coaching services that are unique to others. By using a specialized method called the NLS Matrix Decoder, this technology can examine physical, psychological, and emotional states. Then, after identifying the issues, we can recommend the best treatment for you, such as creating dietary plans, developing lifestyle planning, and even recommending what to look out for in the future. If you want to learn more or have additional questions, contact us at matrixemfharmonizers@gmail.com or call 718-607-7725. If you cannot come in person, we can provide remote sessions, as mentioned above, with hair samples, and you can join the session on FaceTime via Zoom. As technology evolves, we're also growing.